Man, look at that beauty. Nice smoke ring. Oh man. Welcome to another episode of Miles Out right here. I've got 3 racks of ribs with a 3-2-1 method. The second thing is I'm gonna make some tomatillo salsa. Most people roast it in the oven. I'm gonna roast these over a charcoal. Let's get to it. I'm gonna meet you behind my prep table. Let's go. I've got a few things going on today. You see I've got my Acorn Junior smoker right here. I've got some charcoal prepped and ready to go. I've also got some baby back ribs. I've already got these seasoned up. I've got the mustard on here as a binder, and then I have some paprika-based brown sugar rub on top of it, some extra salt and pepper. And then I've also got some tomatillos. I've got some cilantro. I've got some jalapenos. We're gonna make us a tomatillo salsa. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna start the charcoal. I like to start it on both sides. These things are great. It takes about 20 minutes for it to light up and get ashy all the way up. Dump it right in here, then you're ready to cook. I'm gonna go and put these on the smoker right now. If you notice underneath, I didn't take off the silver skin, but I cross-hatched it. I kind of like the way it cooks that way. So now I'm gonna leave it in there for 2.5 hours. You've heard of the 3-2-1 method. With this pellet smoker, it cooks things a little bit faster, so I'm actually gonna do it for 2.5 hours, then 1.5 hours, and then 45 minutes. Next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the husk off of these tomatillos, and I'm gonna give them a quick rinse. There you go. Let's put that to the side. I'm gonna roast this poblano, these 2 jalapenos, quarter this, and at the end we're gonna put a little bit of lime juice in it just for flavor. Let's go ahead and put these back in the bowl. You guys have a favorite knife? This is a Japanese Santoku knife. It's made out of VG10 steel, 67 layers of Damascus. It wasn't very expensive. It was about $60 or $70, probably mass produced, but the thing I like about it, it remains sharp. So what I typically do is I wait until about half of it turns ashy white and the rest of it I don't. So that way after you pour it in here, it's gonna continue to light. So it's got this crafty little hook. That is hot. So we'll pour it in here. There we go. Close this lid. Open up the vents. And then once it gets hot, we're gonna put our tomatillos and our peppers and our onions and some of our garlic on here. It's gonna be delicious. So I'm gonna use this stainless steel grate just so I can keep it over the fire and not lose anything. I left the garlic with the skin on it so it's a little bit easier to peel afterwards, and then it also kind of resists a little bit of the heat. It doesn't dry out as much. We're gonna get some good color on here. We're gonna pull it off as we get the color we need. And this is gonna make an amazing sauce, I guarantee it. So this thing's ready. Let's pull these out. This poblano smells divine. Just eat it right now. Oh my gosh. You've never smelled a roasted poblano or a roasted hatch chili pepper, whether it be a Sandia or a Big Jim? You're missing out. So this garlic comes right out. Got a nice little char to it. Smells amazing. I'm gonna use this to make the tomatillo. We got the lime and everything else in here. Got the tops cut off of the jalapenos and the poblano. Probably about a teaspoon of salt. Put the lid on. Let her rip. Man, that is amazing. I could eat so much of this stuff. These have been on here an hour and a half and I haven't looked at them once. Why? Because I don't need to. It looks like it's tightening up. It's got a good bark on it. They're starting to leak out, which means they're rendering down a little bit. After about an hour from now, at 2.5 hours, I'll probably pull them. I'm going to go ahead and slide them down to the end and put my peppers here. We're 45 minutes into it. These are looking pretty tasty. We're almost ready to wrap up these bad boys. Who's ready to wrap some ribs? These guys have been on the smoker for about 2.5 hours. You can get these inserts on Amazon. They're pretty cheap. You put them under a set of gloves. You can literally grab a hot pan out of the oven. What I'm gonna do with my ribs is I'm gonna double layer them. I'm gonna start out with some brown sugar. Then I've got some Scotch bonnet hot sauce that my buddy made me. He grew them himself. It's really amazing. I've got a mixture half and half of some really dark maple syrup from up in the Upper Peninsula, and then I've mixed that half and half with some local Memphis honey. Some Screaming Pig rub, which is what we used to originally season that. And then I've got some Irish butter. I don't know if you can see how orange it is. It's much better than any regular butter you're gonna get. So I've got that warmed up. Let's go and get our first rack of ribs. So you can see they're still pretty tight. Got some color on them. In a competition, you probably take all this black stuff out. You might do that afterwards. It's starting to render down. It's getting soft, a little pliable, but it's still pretty stiff. All the seasoning has stuck on. It doesn't rub off. That's a good sign. Some of that in there. Then we're gonna get some hot sauce. Some maple syrup and honey. Now we're gonna put some butter on it. See how it just runs off? That's why we want to put this side down. That's why I'm gonna try the downside up to see what it does. Right, now let's roll it upside down. I want to make this thing as tight as possible without actually poking through the ribs, because these bones can get pretty sharp. Look at these guys. You can pick them up. They're really soft and pliable. They're almost done. Probably another 45 minutes to an hour. I want a little more texture on this cheese, but at 225, it takes a while. So the sun's going down. It's been an hour and a half wrapped up. Typically, this is where I find they get pretty good without getting overdone. Let's get one. Feels like it's pretty flexible. Of course, we're talking about through 2 layers. Let's open it up. Man, look at that beauty. See the underside? The bones are starting to show. Pull in. You can pretty much grab these and wiggle them. Good indicator that they're pretty much done. So it's flexible. Be gentle with it. Look at that beautiful color. I'm gonna go ahead and glaze this a little bit. A little bit more, not too much, just enough to get a thin layer. Look at that. Let's get this last one on the smoker. Again, see, look how flexible it is. This guy is done. If you don't have enough light, you can always use your dome light. Let's let these set up. So here we are, moment of truth. Yeah, they're perfectly done. Look at that beautiful thing. Oh, I love it. I may go over one more time with a little bit of glaze, just to give a little bit of shine to it. My goodness, these things look amazing. I want to cut into them right now, but I'm going to let them rest for at least 20 to 30 minutes. I'll bring you guys back in and we'll tear into it, we'll take a look at it, and do a tasting test. Thank you guys for hanging along this far with it. It's been a long, long day, and I've been at it since about noon. And now it is almost 9 o'clock. So thank you guys. So here we are, this beautiful rack of ribs. I'm actually trying to turn them upside down to slice it. Let's look at these. Well, that just came apart, didn't it? Let's take a look at this one. Nice smoke ring. Looks kind of juicy. I'm not gonna bite it right now, but let's see if it comes off. Comes off clean. As you can see, it doesn't come right off the bone. That's actually what I'm looking for. Where'd that piece go? Right here. I'm gonna take a bite of this. Now that is a dang proper rib. Oh my goodness. I'm supposed to bring some over to my neighbors. I don't know if I want to now. I like sharing, but these are incredible. Maybe I will do a bite shot. Okay, let's do it. It's my ribs. Holding on. Super tender. Good job, me. This is the hardest thing I've tried to do over the years, is not overcook them. Instead of doing a 3-2-1, I do a 3, 1.5, and half. Reason being, the pellet smoker is more of a convection oven, so it's gonna cook a little bit faster. Even though it is set to 225, the current moving over it moves a little bit faster than an offset, I suppose. So, This is my lunch for the weekend. So, now that we're done here, I wanted to bring something up. Monday after this weekend is Memorial Day. That is a very emotional day for me because that's me right there. Back in 1998, I'm old, I know. Served in the Marine Corps, There's a lot of people that served in the military, but this isn't about us. These are the people that sacrificed. We may not have what we view the perfect world, the perfect nation. The point is, we have a lot more freedoms than many other countries in this world. That is solely due to the men and women who are deployed across the United States and all over the world to make sure that we maintain our freedoms as we have them today. Some people wrote that check up into including their life, and sometimes it got cashed. And this is that day every single year where we can have a few moments and reflect. On Memorial Day, make sure you set a few moments aside to just think about the freedoms that you have. So if you see a veteran and you tell them thank you, there's more likely a chance that they'll say, today is not my day. That's Veterans Day. That's my personal thoughts. You guys have a great week. Thank you for tuning into this video. This is another episode of Miles Out right here. Oh man.